Your commitment and consistency to relying on your own intelligence in your relationships all the time is going to ruin your relationships. You are going to continue being alone if you constantly rely on your own logic. What I've learned with us intellects is that we want to enter a flow state when it comes into our relationships. We want them to make sense the same way our homework makes sense, the same way the books we read make sense, or the research we read makes sense. We want it to be perfectly logical. We want it to be X and Y, A to B. We want it to just flow and make sense. What I'm coming here to tell you is that people are irrational. People are irrational because emotions are irrational. We don't understand how to stay in relationships. We don't understand how to keep them. We don't know how to operate in relationships because we are expecting them to work out in a logical way or in ways that we're used to in the past. And in this video, I'm going to go over the 3 main ways that intellects we stop ourselves from entering and staying in these relationships. Starting off with the first point, right? Smart people, we try to fix our emotions instead of just being mindful that they exist. The thing about emotions is that they are very persistent and they're very loud, and sometimes they can be irrational. And what we do is, I'm feeling mad. No, I shouldn't be mad. Okay, how can I fix this? Okay, breathing technique. Let me go on YouTube. Okay, breathing techniques. Or I'm mad, let me just go to sleep. When I wake up, I won't be bothered by this no more. Or I'm mad, or you know what, maybe I shouldn't be mad. You know what, let me call my friend. Am I crazy for feeling mad because my man left me on red because he got off work and he said he was gonna call me, but he didn't call me, and that made me mad. And I don't know, should I be mad? Or like my friends, they went out without me. You know, it is around my birthday, and I did kind of mention I wanted to hang out and I had plans, but they ended up going out without me. Am I crazy for that? That's the situations that you could be in that can make you mad, right? But you'll just try to fix it by calling somebody and trying to validate that you shouldn't be mad, going to sleep, doing something about it, right? But really, all you have to do is just accept that you're mad. Just accept that you're mad. Why can't you just accept it? And the thing is, it sounds so illogical to do that, right? Because what do you mean just accept that I'm mad and that's going to fix it? A lot of times, emotions are not there to make you suffer. They're just indicators of what's going on in your reality, and the emotions just want to be listened to. You have to think of it like emotions are like your employees. They're working for you. And you have to think of it in a way where you're the CEO and you're in a boardroom with anger, anxiety, happiness, depression, regret, guilt. And all of these emotions are trying to tell you something in different situations. So in this situation, anger's trying to tell you something. Anger's trying to tell you that, hey, you're being treated unfair. And instead of trying to do something and try to, oh, anger, you need to leave. Anger, you need to get out my room. You're not invited into these meetings anymore. What you have to do is sit there as the CEO and listen to anger. Like, anger, what are you trying to tell me? You trying to tell me that I should break up with him? Or are you trying to tell me I should just have a conversation? What are you trying to tell me? Oh, I need to defend myself. Oh, okay. That's what you have to do. First, you have to listen to the emotion instead of trying to fix the emotion, and then make a decision. Because once we're able to take a moment, pause, listen to the emotion, then we're able to make a decision that actually makes sense. Logical people, intelligent people get into the problem of bottling up their emotions because they feel like it's irrational to feel them. I shouldn't be upset that people are going out without me. They should be able to live their lives without me. That's called intellectualizing how you feel instead of just feeling how you feel. The way that you just feel your emotions is by telling yourself, I allow myself to be mad. And you sit there in the uncomfortability of being mad. But that's the hard part. You don't want to ever be uncomfortable because it's not logical. You're like, oh, if I got to go to work today, why would I make myself uncomfortable by thinking about this man and the way he's lying to me and he's obviously cheating on me? Why would I think about that? I'm going to just be in denial and ignore it because it's not logical. If I have to babysit and then after that, I got to go to class and then after that, I got to go to work. Why would I think about this thing that's going to make me mad? I might as well just ignore it. So that's what a logical, smart person would do, because the most logical thing to do would be to just deny the situation so you can do the more important things with your day. Instead of the emotional process being, I'm aware of the emotion, I fix the emotion. Stop doing that. You want to be aware of emotion, pause, listen to emotion, then make a decision. That's what you want to do. And you're like, but how do I know I'm making the right decision? That's going to come with practice. I can't tell you what decision you should make in all your scenarios. So you're going to have to learn how to be aware, pause, breathe, sit in the emotion, sit in it, then make a decision on what you should do. And I promise you, if you do that pause, you'll be able to make better decisions on average. That's what I'm telling you. Okay, so let's get to the second thing, right? The second thing that intelligent people do is that we try to guess what the other person feels or thinks or what they're doing with us instead of just asking or just getting away from them. We try to mind read because we feel like we're so smart. Because you're like, well, every time I think about what my mom's going to do next, I'm always right. Every time I try to predict my brother and sister, that I'm always right. And then all these other men, I've heard stories online of other girls going through the same scenario. So obviously they're going to do the exact same thing. I know all these women out here, they be doing this, and that. So of course, like in this scenario, I'm probably right. Like she didn't text me back because she hate me. You know, she didn't get me this particular gift because I asked for this gift on my birthday and they didn't give me the gift on my birthday. So clearly they don't like me. We come up with these narratives because we trust that we're right. We trust the fact that I know why you don't like me, or I know that you hate me, or I know that our relationship was never anything. I know that for a fact. And how do you know that? You know that because you've heard 1,000 stories online of a similar thing happening. So you assume that the same thing is happening in your relationship. Just because it happened to all these other girls or happened to all these other guys, you're assuming that it's happening to you right now. Because it's logical. It's logical to think that way, right? So that makes sense, right? And then we create our own narratives. We create our narratives that someone doesn't like us, they're against us, everybody hates us, or we just shouldn't do this thing based off the data that our brain has collected. We collect data into our brain and then we come up with a logical explanation instead of accepting the unknown. What if your partner is different? What if your friend is different? What if they don't know what's bothering you? What if they don't know what's on your mind? That's why logical people, we have to address it. Most of the time, when you think that you're reading somebody's emotions or thoughts on a situation, you're probably wrong. But you've had a couple moments in the past where you were right, and then now you're trusting yourself with every relationship where I don't have to talk. I'm a mind reader. I know exactly what's going on in their mind. You have to stop doing that because 90% of the time, and I say 90% because 10% you might be right, 90% of the time you are wrong. You don't know how somebody thinks or how they feel, so stop creating narratives because you are so smart. The third thing that I have to go over is control issues, which does tie to what I just said, but there's an overall theme here if you're noticing. If you're noticing, please comment down below right now what you think the overall theme of this video is, but I'm about to hit you with it right now. Logical people are not able to accept, identify, or even understand emotionally the unknown. Logical people, because we don't understand the imaginary variable or imaginary number. We don't want to understand that. We may not understand. We understand X, but we don't understand what Y is. You don't know the output all the time. You don't know the conclusion of the situation all the time. You think you know everything, but you don't. You don't know. What did God say to Job in the Bible at the end? He was like, you don't know. You don't know everything. You don't know. You don't know why I put you through what I put you through. You don't know why the clouds move. You don't know how the universe is set up. You don't know. And that's what I'm telling you right now. You think you know everything, but you don't. And you're very smart. You're very successful, very beautiful, very handsome, very amazing. I'm not taking none of that from you. You are very amazing, but you don't know everything. And that's okay. You don't know how they're going to respond. You don't know how filling out that job application, how that's going to happen. So you don't need to be a control freak. You can let go. You can let go. And then what if you do find out that you're being cheated on or they're lying or you're right? What if you do? Okay, you were right. You were right. But now you know for sure. You need to move when you know for sure. Okay, you need to move on that level. You don't need to always move off guesswork when you have no evidence. That's not how courts work. They don't just do guesswork. They actually have some evidence, right? So don't do that. We don't have to be control freaks over our entire lives. Plus, it makes us kind of miserable. Like, for example, if you're in a relationship, there's always the thought on your mind that you're being cheated on. And there's always the possibility that it's happening, right? With all of us. All of us are taking that risk when we date somebody. But when you're a control freak, I think about Angela from Why Did I Get Married, right? You remember Angela from Tyler Perry, Why Did I Get Married? She was a control freak in her relationship, and it was making her miserable and her partner miserable. And sometimes, and most of the times, she was wrong. She did have some scenarios where she was right, but a lot of the scenarios she was wrong in overthinking. And that's the thing. You're always using your mind to intellectualize a situation, so you overthink. You overthink the answer that's not there. You create something that's not there, and you try to control every variable. And controlling every variable in your life is exhausting. As humans, we can't do that. That's why we have to throw our hands up to whatever you believe in, God, the universe, whatever, the atmosphere. You have to give it up and say, I don't know. I don't know if I'm being cheated on. I'm going to be aware and look for signs if they're there, but I'm not going to assume I'm not. And I'm not going to just avoid all relationships because I'm scared of being cheated on, or I'm scared of them lying to me. Because if they're lying to me or they're cheating on me and I find out, I'll just leave. I'll be mad. I'll be mad at them. I'll express that I'm mad and I'll just leave. Why do I have to be worried about this, controlling all their decisions, trying to control how I am because I'm scared of feeling embarrassed? We don't have to live like that. We don't. We don't. Social media teaches you to be embarrassed, and you have to be psychic, and you have to go to a tarot reader to figure out if somebody's doing something to you. And I understand that is scary as an intellectual person. You want the answers. If you got them answers on your exam and you got them answers when it comes to your job, you want them answers in your relationships, but you're not always going to get them. And that's the thing that's holding you back, is that you're not always going to get them, and that's okay. But I'm just saying that all to say is that I care about you and I care about me, and I know that we can do better, and I know that we are able to be intelligent but also emotionally intelligent, which is really, that's also another theme of this video, is emotional intelligence. And I know that we can have that. I don't mean to be aggressive or rude or anything, but I know with intellectual people, we like to kind of fight ideas. So I'm sure somebody in the comments or later on in the future will fight me on some of the stuff I'm saying in this video. But you're smart, and a smart person is going to follow their own logic sometimes, and they're going to, disagree with you, and that's fine. But I want you to be able to at least listen with your heart and your ears, and be able to accept some of the things that I'm telling you, okay? So with that being said, thank you so much for getting to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I appreciate you. I hope you're having a great year, whatever year you're watching this in. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. See you later.